talking about the ingredients for success, I guess everybody has a list of rules or reasons that they feel there are things that contribute to their success. And I guess there's a commonality across the board. Everybody seems to have common little ingredients. But because this is me in particular, I'll give you a list of mine. And I suppose the first one is the big P, which is passion. I think to be successful in life, in whatever walk of life you're in, you need to have that absolute passion for what you are doing. And if you're doing that, if you are doing what you love, then you can't help but be successful. So passion for me is the number one, the biggest reason I feel I'm successful in my field, because I'm incredibly passionate about what I do. So I jump up every morning and I'm excited about the day. I'm excited about what it'll bring and excited about how I can help someone. So that's it in a nutshell, passion.
Cool.
The second, probably the next in importance, is persistence. I think persistence is incredibly important because it involves discipline. If you are passionate about what you're doing, you need to be persistent about building your passion and building your business. And persistence is not always easy because sometimes we get a knockback, sometimes we trip over, sometimes we get a slap in the face, but we've got to overcome that and we've got to maintain our persistence. Like the little red engine, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And then of course you can, because you're persistent. So that's my second big one. And it's just never giving up. Just keeping at it, and then knowing that you can do it. The third one is probably the power of your mind, the power of thought. Having a mindset and disciplining that mindset, knowing that what you think is who and what you become. So if I think I can do something, obviously I can. If my thought process says I can't, I'm not going to be able to. If I think I can climb that mountain, I will. If I think I can't, I won't. So your thoughts are what carry you. And that is something that you need to, or I needed to, educate my mind to do. If I felt a negative thought coming in, I quickly run in my mind and say to it, you can't think that. You've got to change that to a positive thought. And boy, it's taken me years and I still trip up. But I've learned to really work on my mindset. So if I decide to eat healthily, I will work at that. If I decide to exercise, I do that. I don't say I'll do it tomorrow. I change my mindset and say I'm going to do it today. So I think the way we think and the way we perceive ourselves is exactly how we become. Focus. I think firstly we need to have a vision, something up there that we're really striving toward. Dare to dream. That's a big one. Dare to dream, have a vision, have goals, have a goal that you're working towards. I think, and then focusing on that goal, always keeping it in front of you. So it's a power of visualization. See that dream in a picture, see that vision as a picture and focus on it. It's like looking through the lens of a camera. Focus on that vision and work towards it. And don't lose sight of that focus. Don't sidetrack. Don't use a wide angle lens. Just keep focused on that tight little vision. And I think if you can manage to do that, and again it's a bit of training, but focus, 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 and work towards what you really want to become. Work towards the successful you that you want to become, and don't lose focus. The next one, I guess, is a difficult one. It's all about self-belief. And boy, that's a tough one. Because growing up, we all hear what other people say about us. You know, she's this, she's that. You should, deadly word, you should be this. You should please this one. You should please that one. You should change your thinking. You should change your mindset. There are so many different messages that come in that self-belief gets very confusing. We lose track of who we are and who that person is that we're supposed to be believing in. But I guess coming back to my parents again, they always said to me, honey, believe in yourself. If you have a belief system, trust in that. Trust in your intuition. Trust in yourself. And I think, particularly as women, we need to work on that self-belief. We need to listen to our gut feeling. We need to understand that we have a right to believe in ourselves, that we're special and we have a right to an opinion, to a belief, to a dream, to become the people that we really know we can be. So it's that self-belief to front up and say, I am what I am, what I am, what I am. I'm not something that you want me to be. So self-belief has been a huge driving force instilled in me from when I was a tiny little girl. The next one down the list is associated, I guess, to self-belief. And that's being true to yourself. And that's pretty hard as well. Because we're all, particularly as women again, we're all out to please the world. We want to please our parents, our children, our husbands, our work colleagues, our friends. We always say the right thing to our friends. But often we're not really being true to ourselves. We're saying and doing things that we perceive other people want us to say. So being true to ourselves is all about having the freedom to A, feel, and B, to be able to verbalise those feelings, not hurting anyone else, but I guess today they call it authenticity. Be authentic. And again, that's a buzzword which I don't like to use, but it's absolutely spot on, because authenticity is believing in yourself and it's being true to yourself. And it's that truth that is so important. And people recognise it, because you can fool everyone out there, but you can't fool yourself. And once you don't fool yourself, everyone else kind of gets an inkling of it. So be true to yourself, and then other people are attracted to you. They're attracted to the real person and to that authentic person, and then they're authentic back, and then you have a real connection. So it's all about that. Now we come to balance, and being a Libran, I don't know how much I believe in the stars, but balance, the scales, is very important to me. So I'm passionate about my work, but I'm also passionate about my life. So finding that work-life balance is incredibly important to have a healthy psyche. So for me, it's a matter of letting go of the work at a certain time and changing back and finding that balance in my personal life. And one way I do it, which may sound strange, is I tear off to the mountains or the seaside. So if I'm stressed, or if I just want to come back to myself, to find a certain stillness, I tend to run away and back to nature. And I find that incredibly grounding. And I just let that happen, and it's beautiful. Or I just take time to be still, just still, and listen to what's around me. But basically it's spending time with family, having that balance of physical exercise, going to the gym, going out for a fabulous walk. All of those things are incredibly important to make that to create that roundness and that sense of balance in your life. And it also helps with self-worth, because looking after yourself, you look after everybody else as well. So it's creating that balance, which is very, very important. One very important thing to me is the desire to give back. If I look back in my life, sure, there have been difficult times, there have been hurdles, but I'm incredibly grateful and feel enormously fortunate and lucky to be where I am, to have the life that I have, to have a healthy son, a beautiful family, a mum who's a survivor at 91 and a half, to have a career that I love, living in an environment with the friends that I have. It's all one big shining ball of gratitude. And one habit that I've developed is every morning when I wake up, I list the 3 things that I am enormously grateful for. And that's how I start my day. So being grateful and being thankful for all that I have a burning desire to give that back. So hence, as I mentioned earlier, working with those less fortunate than I am, and giving back to them. So for me, it's not about money. That comes when you do your job well. It's all about giving back. So it's about helping women who are less fortunate, helping children who are less fortunate. It's a very big part of my life. So giving back, I believe, also brings success because it makes you feel good and it just makes your heart swell. So it's a gift that I give myself. I'm probably running out of all my pointers because one works into the other. But one of the big things, or the greatest challenges I've found in my life, but one of the greatest contributors, or what I believe to make the greatest contribution to my success, is facing fear. So if I were giving advice to my 17-year-old self, I'd probably say, Nikki, face your fears. So do whatever you're really frightened of doing. So for me, I had a lot of fears. Those fears came because I grew up as a child of the Holocaust. So my parents had so many fears. They'd lost everyone. They came to a strange country. They couldn't speak a language. They didn't know how they were going to survive. They didn't know how their kid was going to grow up. They had one child and they feared for that child. Crossing the road, getting a cold, falling sick, being bullied. How is that child going to grow up? What if they lost that child? Like, what if? So I grew up in a household of what ifs, and I understand that. But it was an incredible struggle for me to get over the what ifs because they'd been so instilled in my mind and in my psyche. So I grew up saying, what if this happened? And if I skied, what if I fell over and broke a leg? Or if I rode a horse, which has been a huge part of my life, competitive dressage, I'd be riding the horse and all of a sudden my gut would turn, I'd say the horse would be bucking. What if I fall off and break my neck and I become a quadriplegic? So it's been a constant challenge of overcoming these what if fears. And it's only now, as I'm a little bit more grown up, that I actually get out there, show a bit of muscle and say, come along fears, because I want to grab you by the throat and I'm going to make an impression on you and I'm going to overcome you. So to anyone out there who wants to be successful, I think that facing the fears that come along, yes, it's terrifying, but do it anyway, because if you remain scared, you become stagnant. It immobilizes you and you can't move forward. So how can you be successful? You need to move forward, because standing still, you're not going anywhere. So you need to face those fears and have the courage to say, I can do it. The last contributor on my list is the desire to make a difference. I think we can plod along in our own little world and be isolated, be a bit like a horse with blinkers on, but that's not good enough. For me, it's been very important that I make a difference. I need to make a difference, particularly to women, to help them in any way I can, by my own example, by saying, come on girls, let's get together and support each other, and let's make a difference in this world. Let's get equality, let's get equal pay. Let's become the people that we have the power to be. Let's not be subordinate. So for me, if I can make a difference to one person in the next week, and then 2 people in the following week, and 3 people in the week after that, then I'll believe that I've been incredibly successful. Because making a difference, it's up to us, it's to each and every one of us. And from 1 become 2, from 2 become 3, and from that we become a really united front. So it's a sisterhood, and we need to support each other, not bring each other down. So my final message is, let's all make a difference and stand up united in doing that together.